Hello, this is Joe183, and it's another episode of the Pierre career mode in Season 2, and it is the Jewel in the Crown, the Monaco Grand Prix. And yeah, it's very, very difficult track, of course, and hopefully I can get a good result after my 3 in a row wins in China, Russia and Spain. It's going very well in the championship right now in the Red Bull in Season 2, going for that championship and get into track isolation test for Monaco, and it looks like pretty straightforward purple score, a few greens in there, but we get the 50 resource points for that, and then onto qualifying pace. And we're stuck behind the Toros. Think of Nico Carey here, and it looks like we're just about going to beat our target time at the minute, so 3 tenths up. And yeah, Monaco, you're always on edge. It's a very easy track to make a mistake on. And in Season 1 I had more crashes than you can count on both hands, I think. So yeah, we smashed the target, actually get on for pole position in the track isolation test. I thought I'd leave this in because Manor actually brought about 4 upgrades to Monaco. So now they're almost in the midfield. You can see the top 4 are sort of breaking away. Then there's Williams, Renault, McLaren, Manor, Haas and Force India all very close in the midfield, and Sauber are way off. But yeah, let's get into the qualifying, the most important qualifying session of the season, as track position is vital around here. And into my first run in qualifying, and it's very, very close through the swimming pool section in Rascasse here. And it looks like I'm on a good lap right now. Take as much speed through Rascasse as you can. It's very, very tight and narrow, of course, and coming up towards the line, and it is going to be on pole position for the time being, 112.8 almost, and yeah, that is very nice indeed. That was actually pole position in the Monaco Grand Prix, 3 tenths ahead of Carlo, which is a very shock result in second place there for Toro Rosso, with 2 Mercedes on the second row of the grid, Ricciardo ahead Hamilton, with Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen the next along with their Ferraris, with my teammate Verstappen 7 tenths off, which is very nice to see. For myself, but not so much for the team. It's Magnussen, Bottas, Carey and Ocon run out the points. Ocon doing very well in his manner with the new upgrades. And Button, Alonso in 12th and 13th. Hulkenberg, George Russell, Romain Grosjean, Sergio Perez, Esteban Gutierrez, Julian Palmer, Pascal Wehrlein, very underperforming against Force India, even though it is one of the slowest cars now, with 2 Saubers, as you would expect, right at the back of the grid.
Take a deep breath and enjoy the moment. It's a very special time of the season once again, as we prepare for racing here this afternoon. There's no better test of driver, no more prestigious race to win, no bigger an occasion than the Monaco Grand Prix.
So race strategy, it looks like it's going to be a one-stop race, as you probably would expect. And unfortunately it looks like it's going to rain at the end, so that could spice everything up. But here we go, 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's away we go for the Grand Prix, and Carlos Sainz is bogged down massively from alongside me, and that allows Lewis Hamilton to get straight ahead up into second place. And I think Carlos Sainz may even drop behind the other Mercedes of Ricciardo as well, so very difficult to see for the Spaniard, my former teammate in the previous season, who did very, very well in qualifying, outperforming his Toro Rosso by massively. And now we've got to defend from the Mercedes right behind me into those hairpin for the first time in the Grand Prix. 38 more to go after this, so it's a very, very long race in terms of laps, and I actually lose half my front wing on lap 1, so that's not a great start, but yeah. Front wing doesn't make too much difference unless it's really badly damaged around here, because it's such a low speed track that you don't really notice the high speed corners too much. And now it's actually Ricciardo in second place, not Hamilton. He's going to get in the slipstream, and I'm going to have to go defensive into Nouvelle Chicane and just about see off Ricciardo. Get very, very close to that barrier there, but Ricciardo and Hamilton are right on my tail, and it's going to get very, very close indeed. Very difficult to pass on this Monaco track. Now onto lap 4, I've damaged my front wing even more. And that is pretty unfortunate to see, but I think I've broken the gap a little bit. Purple lap, 1:15, and yeah, we're breaking the gap to the 2 Mercedes behind me with Carlos Sainz in 4th. Let's have a look at the replay at the start then. And Sainz just absolutely didn't get away well at all, and Ricciardo from 3rd place got straight up into 2nd place, and Hamilton got alongside Carlos Sainz and just about forced him out. It was almost 3 wide, a small look up from the Ferrari there, which sort of like hemmed in the rest of the field really, who ended up a long way back. So yeah, it's very difficult to see for everyone below the top 4, but here's a replay of Carlos Sainz, just see what went wrong for him. And he just didn't seem to get enough power. I don't know what it was, it just looked very odd. He didn't get anywhere near as good a launch as myself or Daniel Ricciardo, and then Lewis Hamilton forced him wide, and he's down to 4th place, so disappointing to see for the Spaniard. But after his podium out last time out in Spain, he's hoping for like maybe even go one better in here in Monaco. But yeah, he got 3rd last time, so very strong from Carlos Sainz right now. And here's the order, it's Carlos Sainz still in 4th, it's myself leading from the 2 Mercedes, with Vettel 5th, and my team at Verstappen 6th, with Bottas and then Palmer, then Esteban Ocon is actually running in the top 10 right now. Man, I haven't scored a point yet this season, so they'll be hoping for better things. And I've actually damaged my front wing loads now. It's very, very, it's like brick red, So that is not good at all. I need to get as far as I can to try and go on super softs for the rest of the race. But I've damaged my front wing way too much now, and you can just see through the Casino Square just how much oversteer I'm getting. I've damaged it even more now on the outside, and Ricciardo's going to go for a move around the outside, and it's going to be side by side going down towards the Lowe's hairpin, which is very, very difficult to go anywhere near side by side in. I try and force him out, but he's going to go for the inside line. We're side by side into Lowe's hairpin, and this is not what you want to see. I've been hit by Ricciardo slightly, and I've hit the barrier as well. The top four now are just separated by like very few meters, and you just see how much understeer I'm getting. I've actually got a puncture now, very, very difficult to see, but I've actually got a right rear puncture as I hit the wall, and that is very annoying. As yeah, that's basically dropped me out of the lead by miles now, and I've lost position to Hamilton, Sainz. There go Vettel and my teammate Verstappen. So yeah, I'm pitting onto soft tyres. Hopefully go to the end, but it's a bit disappointing to lose that time for no reason really, other than me being stupid and damaging my front wing way too much. But yeah, pitting from I think it was 6th place by the time I actually came into the pits there. Putting on a set of soft and the new front wing. Hopefully I'll have slightly more pace with a whole front wing rather than just half a lap with a whole front wing like last time. But it's a pretty reasonably quick pit stop, judging by like considering we had a front wing change in the middle of it. So well done to Red Bull for that. They didn't manage to forget my tyres like they did to Ricciardo in the real life race in 2016. We're on to lap 10, and I'm pretty sure we've been absolutely flying on these tyres. And it looks like we're going to be setting a purple lap as we 1:15.7, so it's very nice. And yeah, hopefully just undercut everyone. As here's the gap now. Hamilton's actually pitted, and it's Pascal Wehrlein, and then it's me, and you can see the gap is about 10 or so seconds between us. I'm going round the outside, looking to the outside of Pascal Wehrlein to Casino Square. It's not going to happen. But now we've got a much better exit down towards the Lowe's hairpin section. Go up the inside. And that is a very nice move if it comes off, which it has done. We have the position ahead by Lowe's hairpin. A lap later, we're on his teammate Sergio Perez. We try exactly the same move from even further back, forcing wide, and that is a lovely move. And we've overtaken the 2 Force Indias, which isn't too much of a feat now. There's a second slowest car, but it's still nice to see. And here's Sebastian Vettel coming out the pit lane. There's me. I'm going to just about get in a position off Sebastian Vettel. So this undercut has worked pretty well, as I'm now ahead of a few cars that I wasn't ahead of before. Here's Carlo Sainz, who was like quite a bit ahead of me. He was running 2nd place. And then now I'm going to go right on the outside. It's going to be very, very close, and just about getting the position back up into a net 3rd place. I think this is now. It's just 2 Mercedes ahead, but it's Hamilton being held up massively. But I think this is Valtteri Bottas, and he peels into the pits. And they go up the inside of Antino's, and that is I forced Hamilton into the wall slightly. That was very, very opportunistic. It's not very recommended to go side by side into Antino's, but that is very nice to see. Up into the net 2nd place. I think it's only Daniel Ricciardo ahead of me now. Then Lewis Hamilton's going to go for the outside line into the Noval chicane on the very same lap, I think this is. And I'm trying to force him wide, but Hamilton's gone through anyway. And that is very nice move from the Brit in the Mercedes. And now it's left me thinking about the Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz behind me instead of thinking about catching Daniel Ricciardo ahead. So that makes it a net Mercedes 1-2 once everyone pits. Here is the order. Ricciardo with a massive, massive lead from Lewis Hamilton. And it's quite a long way back to myself in 3rd place now, with Carlos Sainz and Sebastian Vettel for company in 4th and 5th. And here's Daniel Ricciardo a few laps later, actually. He's had a massive engine failure. No way. Like, the 2nd time this season that Ricciardo has been let down by his Mercedes engine. He had it in Australia from the lead. And now in Monaco, the jewel in the crown is he is now out. And that's caused a safety car as well, so this could spice things up. As Lewis Hamilton now leads, as Ricciardo retires for the 2nd race of the season from the lead, which is very disappointing to see, because that's 50 points that have gone down the drain this season. But now the safety car's coming back in. Hamilton's slowing everyone up. And he's actually going to cut me across there quite a lot and retain the lead for now, I think, as he's got a much better exit out of the Antino's corner. And Sainz is still in 3rd place, so he's on for another podium right now, which would be pretty interesting to see. The Toro Rosso getting 2 podiums in a row, even though it's like not the best car at all. It's the 4th best car, so it shouldn't really be this high. But you can see the clouds sort of gathering a bit. And here's Lewis Hamilton coming into the pits, which is very, very odd to see. He's going on a set of ultra soft tyres. I'm not sure about that strategy. I mean, Hamilton, his Mercedes team cost him the strategy in Spain with going a 3-stop, and now he's on a 2-stop in Monaco. And I've actually gone really wide, damage my front wing plentiful, and that means Carlos Sainz is going to be all over my back end going up towards Casino Square, as I've now got both yellow end plates, and that's going to basically cause me the same sort of understeer I had a lap ago, in the previous stint, I should say. Carlos Sainz taking position. I'm forcing out Sebastian Vettel to make sure I don't lose a position to him as well. Very, very difficult to keep up with this commentary. And only 9 laps to go, and I'm going to try and keep this out until either the end of the race or until that rain comes. I'm going to understeer everywhere into Casino Square now. Vettel's going for the move at the inside again. I force him wide, and it's going to be side by side down towards Mirabeau. I'm going to brake late then and try and force him out, and Max Verstappen's going to take advantage. Got the inside, it's side by side, and Vettel's actually dive bombed almost, but not quite. It's side by side through Lowe's hairpin, which is not recommended to do, and Max Verstappen and Vettel are still side by side. I'm not sure what the outcome is, but I think Max Verstappen just about got the position. I'm going very, very wide once again into Casino Square. Verstappen is now side by side with me. I'm going to almost force him wide into the barrier, but then it's going to be side by side once again into Mirabeau, outbrake him, force him wide. He's actually managed to keep it there though, Max Verstappen, and now we're going side by side into Lowe's, and he has the inside line. I try the undercut, but it's not really going to work into such a low speed corner. Now we've made a lot of contact, and Vettel's going to try and take advantage. Vettel does go past, and he's actually cut me off, and I'm now down to 5th place, which is very, very annoying. And the team are recommending ultra softs because his tyres are not doing very well. And I've actually completely corner cut and really overtaken Vettel, so apologies for that appalling move, but oh well, I made it anyway, back up into 4th ahead of Vettel, and yeah, I'm going to go really wide into Casino Square once again. The rain has started to emerge in the sky. I'm going to force Vettel wide. It's basically been a carbon copy every lap now for the past 3 or 4 laps, but I'm going to force him wide, almost into the barrier that time, as I locked up quite a lot, and Bottas actually gained a position there. So Vettel and Bottas are side by side. Vettel's dive bombed me and absolutely cost himself like 7 or 8 positions. He's stuck on the inside of the Lowe's hairpin, so that is Vettel out of the running basically. And now with only 3 laps to go, DRS has been disabled, so everyone will be diving into the pits, I assume. And yeah, so only 3 laps to go. I have no grip at all. I'm into corner cut everywhere, and Max Verstappen's in the pit lane, so that's going to be very, very annoying because the team are going to service him first. I'm just like getting no grip absolutely anywhere. I think Valtteri Bottas is currently in 4th place in the Williams, which is definitely not one of the fastest cars. I think it's like 6th or 7th place. Max Verstappen's just left the pit box, but unfortunately my team are not ready. I said about earlier about the Daniel Ricciardo in 2016. They've done it to me now. I've changed the front wing once again onto my 3rd wing of the race, onto intermediate tyres. And yeah, I'm going to get held up by everyone as well. There's Lewis Hamilton, the only remaining Mercedes, who's actually managed to, even though he did an extra stop, he's now caught up to me and overtaken me, which is pretty frustrating because he absolutely bottled this strategy. There's a Haas car of Romain Grosjean, I think that is, who hasn't pitted for some reason, which is a very questionable decision. He might be trying to go to the end, but I suppose he's got nothing to lose, but still, I wouldn't recommend it. But now Hamilton's got a terrible run out of the pit lane. I'm going to go to the inside, and he's squeezed me into the barrier so much there. I've lost loads of time to him and lost my end plate once again, as he probably would expect at this point. But I'm still going to try and overtake Hamilton with the broken front wing. And he's now stuck behind Romain Grosjean. He's on dry tyres. I'm going to go up the inside, dive bomb doubly into Mirabeau, make 2 positions for the price of 1, and that is very, very nice to see. And any position now is a net position because I got jumped by so many people in the stop, and I've lost my other end plate now. So I'm back down to the front wing I was using before anyway. So there's no point changing it. Now Carlos Sainz actually went an extra lap because he'd already passed the pit lane when DRS was disabled. So Carlos Sainz is now under threat of not winning this race, as he was actually in the net lead for a very long time. It's Max Verstappen, and this is the battle for the lead. Carlos Sainz could just come out of the pits, and there he goes. And Carlos Sainz, I think, has just about lost out on his lead. He had the lead for a while after Hamilton made his stop. So it looks like he was on for a net win, but now, for his first win I should say, but now it looks like Max Verstappen is going to take it instead. I've dive bomb at the inside of Raskas on George Russell in his manner, so that is very nice. And another position gain. The next car ahead is Fernando Alonso. I think I'm about 7th place at this point, as the Manners are running in the points very well. And Carlos Sainz, heartbreak for the Spaniard, as he was on for his first ever win in F1. And unfortunately, just by the luck of the draw, he was past the pit lane when DRS was disabled, so he didn't pit, and Max Verstappen's managed to do the undercut. But now the final lap of the Grand Prix into Raskas, I'm going to look up the inside of Fernando Alonso for 6th place this is, and we go right up the inside of Raskas, and then it's Nico Carey for 5th, and I'm going to go try look up the inside of Dante Nose, almost collide with the barrier there. I've got an absolutely appalling exit, and Fernando Alonso's going to try it. We're side by side across the line. What's it going to be? Is it 6th or 7th? Side by side with Alonso. I'm not sure how it was ended, and it was 6th place. So Fernando Alonso just missing out, and that is very disappointing. My first non-podium of the season, and myself and Fernando Alonso actually finished level on time. You see there on the 6th and 7th place. But Max Verstappen wins. Carlos Sainz going 1 better than Spain in 2nd, but he just missed out on that win. With Valtteri Bottas in 3rd place, with Kevin Magnussen in the Renault in 4th. So extremely weird results with Carey, Gasly, Alonso, George Russell getting his first points with Lewis Hamilton and Pascal Wehrlein rounding out the points. Hulkenberg, Button, Raikkonen with a very weak showing. Perez, Ocon, Gutierrez, Leclerc, Vettel with an appalling day out after that spin he had. Grosjean with a 3-stop strategy. The gamble didn't pay off. With Giovinazzi lap down and Ricciardo the only non-finisher with his engine failure. The championship has closed down quite a lot. They're only 17 points ahead of Max Verstappen now. Carlos Sainz is in 3rd place after his strong showings in the last 2 races, so very, very well done to him. Lewis Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo still bottling it in 4th and 5th in the Mercedes. But yeah, the constructors looking good as well as Red Bull are in the top 2 in the drivers, so naturally we are the top in the constructors as well. So all the driver position, etc. you're seeing on the screen right now. So yeah, if you like this video, then leave a like on it, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been JY83, and I will see you next time.